presence known back on Call It How I See It. How you gentlemen doing?
Ready to go, man.
What, a call from Joffey? Call it how I see it. Can't wait. Let's get it.
Let's do it. So, guys, we've been talking Mav football, and I want to switch it up because it's basketball time, bro. It's NBA postseason. A lot of stuff has been going on, and I got my Jamal Murray jersey. Don't worry, I ain't throwing no heat pads at you. Talking about fines, right, JC? We just found that out that dropping $100K on that.
$100,000 heat pad, man.
Fucking stupid. Like, who the hell throws a heat pad like that, man?
Somebody's getting blown out.
I was going to say, when you fight that, you had 6 points. That's no heat pad kind of number.
You ain't lying, dude. You ain't lying about that. But let's dive into this. Like, what are we watching? Like in this Nuggets and Timberwolves series, what are we watching? Like obviously, like we totally are watching the Timberwolves manhandle the Nuggets in their own house, in the altitude and everything involved. But like, how is this being done?
New blood, length, speed, youth, combination of youth and speed. I'm telling you that the Timberwolves are making it known, that making a statement. I mean, it'll be interesting to see if they can finish it, but definitely making a statement. Going to Denver, handle them. The second game wasn't even close. I mean, think about it. So it's been an introduction. I think Ant-Man's putting himself on the map, letting the world know it's time.
No, for sure, I agree. And even he's getting tired of all the Jordan comparisons and everything involved. But like, he put on, even Towns has been putting on, like Nas Reed has been putting on, like everybody, that team collectively, and how Chris Finch is like, pushing every button to make that team go. It's really a thing. It's like a thing of beauty, honestly. Like to knock down a defending champs like this, it's really in their own house, in the altitude. It's really crazy. But like overall, JC, what do you think, man?
I think I think Minnesota just has the length and the big bodies for Jokic.
Yeah.
And they're throwing multiple looks like McDaniels and Edwards and Conley and Jamal Murray. It's making them heat pad frustrated.
Yeah.
We can't. Look at it. I mean, the Denver team is not as deep as they were last year.
Right.
They lost some key free agents.
Yeah.
But this is just, not passing of the guard because Denver's still a young team, but Minnesota has made some noise and showed that they've arrived.
Yo, they finally did it, man. Like, it seems like it. But, I mean, honestly, when we think about it, right, you got one generational number one pick, you have another generational number one pick. Like, it's got to give eventually, right? If you got the right guy pushing the buttons and everything, like, and then you have other guys that are, like, Mike Conley's a perfect compliment. It's like, it's finally about time that, like, he's like a championship point guard that hasn't won a championship yet. Like, that's the way I kind of, like, look at him. He's just been around, his runs with the Grizzlies and everything. It's really cool to see him orchestrate at this level with this younger pack of guys and let them do their thing. But
a lot of times it comes down to the combination of youth and experience. You need the combination of guys on the team.
Yes.
That could be the difference.
Absolutely.
Conley might be the glue that's holding them together. The one veteran piece that they need, Conley could be providing that.
I mean, Gobert didn't play last night, but Gobert's been some nice runs for a minute. So
no,
Gobert's a nice presence too.
They've all been doing their job, even like exceeding expectations of their job and everything involved. Like, it's really. To see this team moving on all cylinders, I think it's a little projected more quickly than we all assumed. But, like, I was also, like, I was iterating when we were, like, chatting before we started up here. Like, maybe the writing was on the wall with the Nuggets here. Just, like, overall, like, their series with the Lakers, they ended up gentlemen sweeping them. But, like, most of the series, they were trailing. We've seen the minute stats and everything involved there. Like to come from behind so much, it wears you down, like, physically and mentally. And to, like, see where things started here, even with the rest and everything, like, it's crazy to see where the Timberwolves are and how much they've propelled their team to this level. It's really cool to watch. I'm really rooting for them, honestly, because they've never been to the finals, if I'm correct.
I don't think so. I think they got to the Western Conference Finals with Garnett one time.
Yes.
His MVP year, I believe.
Right, the 04 year with Cassell and Sprewell, I think.
Right.
And Zerbiak. Quite the squad there.
Could you imagine if Gobert had played last night? It already wasn't close.
Think about it.
It would have been worse.
It would have been worse. Like I said, in their own house, dude, straight up routing them. It's crazy. But so that's that series. Let's dive into another series, and this series I want to talk about also happened last night, and someone else actually showed up in their house, like they've been doing most of the postseason. They dropped an egg on my face after my take last week, but I'll take that L. But overall, I'll give their team a lot of kudos and credit, and seems like the Knicks, you can't count them out, and they keep scrapping. They keep they keep fighting and they keep finding ways to win when they need to most. And whether it's getting rebounds or getting clutch buckets or getting stops or getting help from the referees.
Can't wait to get into that.
Yeah. So, who wants to dive into what happened last night with the Pacers and Knicks?
Go ahead, Carlo. Go ahead.
Man, Scott Foster might be him. Me and Chris Paul might hate him together. They're not letting him play. Like, they're calling tic-tac fouls. It's the playoffs.
I agree.
This is that offensive foul in the last 2 minutes, the one on Miles Turner.
Yes, the last like 20 seconds, I think.
What are we doing?
Even our good friend Stan Van Gundy was like, "You don't make that call. You don't make that call in that situation." But it's a very valid point, especially in that type of game right there. You know, it seems like it could have been a bailout, but they also, at the end of the day, they got to make the bucket. You know, at the end of the day. So,
Yeah.
but
Simpson did the same thing down the other end. When that handball, the kick, the hand
Yes.
deflection,
Yeah.
the screen he set, how's that not called?
yes, I agree.
Exactly.
That handball was brutal.
Inconsistency's an issue. That's the bottom line. I mean, I understand angles. Refs get shielded from certain angles and can't see things. Another thing I wanted to bring up, the whole fact that as a fan you can watch something, I can see it, and you tell me you can't review it. Why can't you review a kicked ball? I mean, was the ball kicked or not? The ref was check it. Means somebody else can give him some help.
No, you can't look at that.
Unacceptable. For me as a fan to watch it and tell me it can't be reviewed, unacceptable.
That is garbage.
Just is.
No, you're right. Like it's like we know it's wrong, and you don't want to admit it because you messed up already. Sweep it under the rug. Let's keep it going.
This thing has been one of the most poorly officiated playoffs I've seen. Overall, not just because the Knicks beat the Sixers. Overall, it's been a very poorly tic-tac called playoffs here.
Brutal, bro. Like I said last week or the week before, I don't remember exactly, but these referees have been graded. They have been graded to be in this position, and then they're still in this position, making them bigger fool of themselves. It's ludicrous, bro. That's all I can
Well, then
say.
again, when I see things like this, it almost makes me think, whether it be officiating in any of these sports, it doesn't change. To me, we're complaining about it now because we're in the moment.
Right.
But it will always be there, and then it doesn't seem like the league really does anything about it.
No.
It's the same thing over and over, year after year. It's very frustrating from a fan standpoint. Watching, you want the basketball to decide what's going on. You want the players to decide what's going on.
Exactly.
Then you have the officials making calls that can affect the game in such a way. It's unacceptable.
It is
100%
unacceptable.
unacceptable, man.
You're cheating us out of the result.
Seriously. I mean,
Let
the
the
way
boys
Brunson's
play.
been playing, right, exactly. The way Brunson's been playing, Halliburton didn't show up.
Nope.
But for the most part, I mean, it was still a game. It was still a close game.
I know.
Call what you see. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They don't call it how they see it.
No, they don't.
Yeah,
No.
Exactly. No doubt.
You hit the nail on the head on that one, JC.
Right?
Like,
Crazy, yo.
but Halliburton hasn't looked the same since the injury to me.
No, he hasn't. I kind of see like a Steve Nash type of game to him, more facilitating, not heavy scoring, letting other guys get in.
Siakam, yeah.
Siakam's a big piece that they're trying to incorporate and figure out, which I wish the Sixers would have got, but I didn't turn out that way. But
It's not never too late. We got free agency, man.
But in the right now, it's like I think he had 19 points, like 8 rebounds last night. And I think Miles Turner was the Pacers' leading scorer because Halliburton didn't show up. And it was the T.J. McConnell game. Like, when else are you gonna get a game like that from T.J. McConnell, bro? Like, honestly, I mean he's been playing good though. I'll give him that. But like,
When he goes to anywhere but Philly, that's when you're gonna get that.
it's brutal, man. I mean, dude, listen, I would kill to have T.J. McConnell back over Kyle Lowry. Come on, bro.
Kyle Lowry.
Oh God, brutal, bro. Please.
Right.
But like I said, in the now, I feel like the Knicks are gonna win that series. Am I wrong? Like even with Tom Thibodeau running his guys into the dirt, having them well conditioned and whatever else. I mean, like how long with Mitchell Robinson now out? Like you have these guys got like a 7-man rotation now.
They're thin in the
They're thin.
front.
They lost Bogdanovich. Like how much more can you guys like keep moving forward with just like 7 guys? It doesn't make. I don't see it. I really don't.
I don't think
Brunson's run has been insane.
It is.
Listen, as long as Brunson's doing what he's doing, they're going to be engaged, man. I mean, the dude is insane.
It is.
The fun he's having.
But like, how long does Hero Ball last? Like,
exactly.
can it
If
last?
the rest of the role players don't show up, the gas tank's gonna run out.
He finds ways to get buckets. I really admire his games. Like right now, I think he might be the best one-on-one player in the NBA. There's no way you can stop him. Dude,
Oh my God! Dude.
when he gave us those reverse headbutts, dude, I couldn't believe it. Like those reverse headbutts, he's like, and we get the foul. I'm like, what the hell? How does he do that? Like how many eyes do you have behind your head or like presence on the court?
He's shifty.
Yo, he is crazy with it, bro.
He can do whatever he wants to do, and gotta appreciate the game the dude brought.
No,
I mean,
for sure.
nobody saw this coming from Dallas. with
No.
Dallas, he probably wouldn't be this player.
Right.
I don't know if he could do that with Luka.
He had like two 40-burger games in the playoffs, right, with Dallas.
Luka was out.
Luka was out, and then he had like two 40-burger games, and then like it parlayed into this. Like, oh, Dad's over there too. Let me go team up with Dad, and everything worked out.
On fire. Definitely gonna need help from his role players.
No, for sure.
He's not, but he's giving them a solid high 30s, low 40s every game.
No,
it's just insane.
It is insane, and it's interesting to see how long they're gonna be able to do this run. Like, it's just like I'm waiting for them to fizzle out, and they're just not fizzling out, and I have to give them credit. You know what I mean? They can drop another egg on my face. I don't. You know what I mean?
I'm still a big Boston guy, so I think they're gonna run into it, in my opinion. But they're gonna get past Indiana.
I agree. And speaking of Boston, they're playing right now, as we speak. So I mean, what do we think? So like Boston and Cleveland, we all think that Boston's gonna win, but like
gentlemen's sweep.
a gentleman's sweep. You think they get one? I mean, Cleveland plays good at home. I have to give them that. So I could see them. It's like we already know Boston's gonna win. It's just like how long is this series gonna last? Is it gonna end in 6 or 5? Maybe a sweep. I don't know.
I'm going gentleman's sweep, just at 4 or 5. I think just because Cleveland is a decent team at home, I'm thinking some like gentleman's sweep. If not, if they sub, I would be surprised. But if you give them one, I think Boston is the real deal.
I do too. It's interesting to see with Porzingis out, and their bench is a little suspect too. Like with Pritchard and Al Horford, but like Al Horford can help plug in for what they're missing in Porzingis, at least in terms of like bodying up with people and stuff. Like their team is.
Big dude.
Yeah.
But how many minutes are you gonna play Horford at his age?
That's another thing too. Like they got Tice. They don't have Tice. I'm sorry. They have Hauser. Yeah. Yeah. Use Hauser, Pritchard.
I think I said it right. Who?
Hey man, he's a German all-star, I believe.
One thing that Boston has though, they have multiple bodies to throw at Brunson if that is a thing in the future.
No, for sure, because like
Derek White gives everybody problems.
Yeah, very good player.
Knows his role.
He knows his role and knows as well. Drew Holiday, like they have guys that will defensively dissect him down, and the other Nova guards too. They match up. That's what I'm saying. I'm still surprised with the Knicks because they're playing small. They're basically playing 4 guards and a center. And like, it's crazy. And they had like OG Anunoby playing against the center, like guarding him, like trying to be the 5. And it's just like, damn, bro, like Tibbs is really using small ball to the backside. Yeah, but I mean, it works for them. They get the rebounds, they fight. Yeah, given the circumstances of everything. But against a team like Boston, I don't see it. And that's where I think Cleveland could win 2 games. They just got Jarrett Allen back, I believe. And, if Evan Mobley can actually, ascend a little bit. This is a chance for these guys to show something. Jarrett Allen's a pretty good, Jarrett Allen's an all-star type of center.
Very serviceable.
He presents a presence in the middle, no doubt.
Right. But, if they play big and, they have, Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland not turn the ball over so much, I think they can pull off at least 2 games maybe against, maybe. I wouldn't bet on it.
4 or 5.
Yeah, 5. I think 5 is the safe bet.
Magic pushed them to 7.
Yeah, the Magic.
Right.
The Magic were serviceable.
They're a veteran away from being nice.
I mean,
no doubt.
I think so too. I mean, whether they get Paul George or Klay Thompson, that's gonna be something to watch.
Klay Thompson, the mutual interest is heating up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll dive into the last series here, and we'll talk about the Thunder and the Mavericks. Now, personally, for me, I'm still not 1,000% on the Thunder. I mean, it seems like the youth is taking over right now, the youth movement. But I mean, a team like the Mavericks, I mean, I think they're still licking their chops and hungry after they didn't make the playoffs last year, and it's still a 2-man game with them, and it always will be. I mean, I don't see anybody else really stepping up on their team. So, but complete effort from the Thunder, their team is deep. I mean, from Holmgren, from Dort. Dort's a freaking animal as it is. In terms of defensive prowess, the 2 Williamses. And then you got Josh Giddey. That team is good, man. There's a reason they're the number 1 seed. So,
absolutely.
Could we expect the Thunder to maybe win in 5 or 6?
Yeah.
I like 5 or 6. I'd go 6.
Yeah, I think it's gonna go more games than not. 6. If Dallas plays out of their mind, they can maybe push it to a 7, but they gotta have a great series. OKC's too deep, and something about Dallas, I was just like, your third options like PJ Washington and Tim Hardaway. I can't do it.
Nah,
I can't do it.
That ain't it. That ain't it. But you would need they
got Luka, Kyrie, and Tobias, basically a bunch of Tobias Harrison. Not happening, bro. Not gonna happen.
Gotta recreate against Magic, though. You
Yes.
watch this dude play when he's had this on string, bro.
He's a
He's
a pure closer. He's a great closer too. A great closer.
On a string, yeah.
Like, you know, when you need the big shot, I mean, how many times has he done it?
Gotta give him, no doubt he'll be there. But then again, he's been known to disappear. I mean,
Yes.
I'm going to go with the new blood. I mean, I shouldn't even say new blood because I guess Luka's not old, so Luka's right there too. I mean, they've been arguing about this whole who's the new face. Anthony Edwards' name is coming up, and they're talking about don't forget about Luka.
Right.
And you got Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, who right here, he's putting himself on the map right here. So you know what I mean? It's going to be interesting to see.
I agree.
But my problem with Luka is I feel like he disappears on the other end.
Oh yeah, I mean, we all see, we all know that.
Offensively, he's amazing.
Yes, but
who
defensive,
are you guarding?
nobody.
Shay's gonna put him in the spin cycle.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
No,
Don't do it. Because I feel like they're gonna leave him on somebody like Giddey just because he's bigger.
Right. Which would be a good matchup. That's the only thing like Luka has defensively, like as an advantage, is his size, like being 6'7", 6'8". At that, like, you know.
How long will that size last with somebody like Dort, like on you, in your face?
No, because Dort is there just to wear you down.
You can frustrate Luka too. I mean, he's still going to get his. Don't get me wrong. You can get Luka out of his game, I think.
No, for sure.
Get his mind.
For sure. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see, but overall, in the long thing, I think we can all agree that, you know, the Mavericks don't have enough to beat the Thunder.
They're not deep enough. Yeah, they're not deep enough.
No, they're not. And with that give and take, you know, I mean, and the way the Timberwolves are right now, I mean, the youth is taking over. We'll probably look at a Timberwolves and, you know, Thunder matchup, and I think the NBA will definitely put a light onto this matchup just to, you know, put something out there like, oh, whoever wins this series, we're gonna make them the face. Either way, whether it's Shea Gilgeous-Alexander or even freaking Anthony Edwards, like they're, you know, NBA is desperately craving for a new face, and I think they're gonna use this next series once these two teams match up as the, you know, as that stepping stone for that face.
See, the key to these guys becoming a new face is winning.
Yeah.
It's one thing to be the new face, but you must advance in the playoffs. And I want to say win championships to really consider yourself the face. Can you be the face and you're not winning at that level? So this is where these guys can make their mark.
Right, I agree 1,000%. That's why we haven't given like people like Jason Tatum the face yet. You know what I mean? Like. Right.
He's still in it. He's another name. Another person I forgot that people don't, for whatever reason, give him
the credit
as much props as I think he should get. I really think he's a stud too. Man.
Yeah, I mean,
it's because they have that other $300 million contract right next to him. They can't decide who the alpha is on that team, and that is my knock on them.
Yeah, I mean that's a Joe Mazzulla problem though.
Right.
So
yeah, Ime would have had that situated. Just throwing it out there.
Either him or Brad Stevens would have. And that's
Brad
what,
Stevens,
and I think, and as he wins another Executive of the Year award, I mean, that team's set up for that team to win. I mean, that team is set up for that reason. So, I mean, if they don't win, I think we're all going to...
Well, the timing of the Porzingis injury, too. I mean, are you kidding me now?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's just insane, but...
We're like, we know you're going to get injured, but now?
Right, exactly. We know it's hurt, man.
We're like, we know it's coming, buddy.
Until now, let it calf strain, here we go.
But
we couldn't wait. You couldn't do it at the All-Star break, nope.
Right, exactly. You couldn't get hurt 3 months ago. I mean, now?
I know.
Damn.
That's just how it worked out.
Ugh.
But overall, I mean, I think we have a lot of good stuff to look forward to in this playoff series, and, you know, time will tell. But
the NBA is alive and kicking, absolutely.
Absolutely.
In good hands right now.
Yes, it definitely is. And I appreciate you guys coming on. I do.
That's what's up, man.
Glad we could talk some basketball.
Appreciate you having me, man.
Absolutely.
Always.
Good night to y'all, and until next time.
Be safe. Can't wait to call it. Now I see it.
Yeah, that's
all
right.
right, Joffey.
All right, gentlemen. I'll see you guys later.
All right, y'all. Be safe.
Have a good one.
Peace. So I'm back, and the Sixers are done. Not a surprise, a big egg dropped on my face after all the shit I talked on the Knicks. Oh well, it is what it is. But now I'm focused towards baseball season, and that's why I have this on. Because you know who's the best team in baseball right now? The Phillies. That's right. Best team in baseball. Best record in baseball. I'm talking about 25-11. I'm talking about number 1 in the NL East. I'm talking about number 1 across the board right now. That's just right now. Topper's got the Phillies playing really good. So, historically, this is one of the best 3 starts in Phillies franchise history. And the long run that the Phillies have been around in the Major League Baseball, this is one of their best runs. And we do have to keep in mind, though, that this is a very long season, and we are also up against a team that spent almost $1.5 billion last year in free agency signings. That doesn't even include their whole payroll. We're also talking about a team in the Braves that we do have their number, and we kick their ass every time it's postseason time. But they still present a formidable challenge to us, even though they lost Spencer Strider, which they seem to have taken a big impact to their team. But, we'll see how things turn on later on down the season because, like I said and iterated earlier, the Major League Baseball season is a very long season. And injuries happen. And the Phillies do have an injury that happened to one of their star players. As some of y'all may know, Trey Turner. He's out for 6 weeks as of last week with a hamstring strain. Yes. Said that right. But my thing about Trey Turner, he's actually playing good this year, right? And he's batting .343. Still a problem making defensive errors in the field. But, for the money that we're paying him, one would think that he would show up a little bit more on the field. However, like I said, he's hitting the ball really good up until his injury. Injuries are a thing of his past, but I wouldn't consider him injury prone. But minus all that, with him gone, we're still winning. We're still mashing the ball. We're still doing very well. We are flexible. We can put Bryson Stott at shortstop. We can put Whit Merrifield at shortstop. We can put Edmundo Sosa at shortstop. There's pieces we can put in to keep this thing keep this machine on a well-oiled tune and keep moving forward the way it's been moving. Overall, I'm happy with what I've been seeing with the Phillies. They've been hitting the ball very well against inferior opponents. A lot of people would say, but it comes with the schedule. We take advantage and we beat the teams we're supposed to beat, which is the most important thing and which is leading us to where we are right now. I do want to say I am very proud of another young player, Alec Bohm, currently hitting .349 and just had an 18-game hit streak that just snapped last night. But, the way he's been hitting, I wouldn't be surprised tonight if he does very well against the Blue Jays. Yes, he's also leading the team in RBIs. Everybody else is hitting pretty well. Nick Castellanos, still hitting under 200, but has been more consistent of late and has been, doing his part, doing his job, especially in the outfield. I got to give him kudos and props because he's made a lot of game-saving catches or game-altering catches that doesn't really get put into light too much. Also, too, where we are right now because of our pitching staff. Our starting pitching has been phenomenal. I'm talking from Zach Wheeler having the best ERA in baseball now with 1.64. I'm also talking about Ranger Suarez, who's 6-0, best record in Major League Baseball, and is cool as a cucumber when he is pitching. So I'm very happy about him. He has a 1.72 ERA. He was at a point where he had 39 consecutive innings without giving up a run, which is almost unheard of in today's baseball. But a lot of kudos to Ranger. He's come a long way. It's good to see him healthy, too. Like, Ranger Suarez, the last couple of years, has had little nips with injuries, but still shows that he is a formidable and solid starter. Now, him healthy this year, he is blowing it out the water, and he will be an all-star this year. You can guarantee it. Everybody else is doing their part, and we're also getting big boosts when we had Taijuan Walker just come back into the rotation last week. They're kind of just throwing him out there just because they're paying him money. But Spencer Turnbull, even Chris Sanchez, they've been pitching very well. So, with all that considered, we are 6 deep. We can put Turnbull later in the bullpen if we need longer innings or eat up innings. And we'll see how that formulates and how things shape up over time. But right now, I'm really confident in our pitching. Our back-end bullpen, it still raises a little bit of questions. But, where we are right now and the way we've been getting leads in most of these games that we've been winning, we really don't have too much to worry about, really. We can get a piece later on, a closer later on. There's definitely things that we can do where we can puzzle out this season to our advantage. I think now is the time to win. I think the Dodgers, even with all these free agency contracts, even Shohei Ohtani and, the other pitcher from Japan and everything involved with their team, they still need to mesh. The Phillies, this group, they've been together for 3 years. From the World Series to even where they were last year, they disappointed. And right now, it looks like Rob Thompson really has them hungry and really ready to play. Like I said, though, it's a long season. There's 162 games, and we're only probably at 45. So we got still a long way to go. But time will tell. And I am still very confident in this team. I think Dombrowski has put his trust in the right guys. And overall, these guys like playing with each other. And you can tell, they're having fun. It's almost a sold-out crowd every time in Citizens Bank Park. there's a lot of things going right now for the Phillies. It's a great time to watch the Phillies. It's a great time to go to the game, and it's a great time to enjoy everything that the Phillies are doing, given the other disappointments from the Flyers and the Sixers as well. But, for the time being, the summertime will be a Philly time, and the Phillies will keep doing their thing. The Fanatic will keep dancing, blowing out his tongue. It's going to be a good time. But, baseball's funny, and we will see how things turn out. And like I said, if this is a scenario where we end up capturing the NL East from the Braves, we'll still probably have them in our back rear view mirror, as they might get a wild card seed. Still have to match up against the Dodgers, and you don't know about the Central yet. It seems like the Cubs kind of have a full head start against the other teams in the Central. Time will tell. But I can definitely tell and make note that the Phillies are on track to be where they need to be. And, it's a good time. And I just had to call all this as I see it, because the Phillies are the best team in baseball right now.